She always knew the night felt different when he was near. Even before the screams, before the shattered glass, before the bruises that bloomed like dark violets beneath her sleeves, Lily sensed something in the air. Something cold. Something that watched her even when his eyes were closed. She remembered how gentle Ethan was in the beginning, how quietly he breathed when they fell asleep together, how he wrapped his arms around her like she was the only safe place he had ever known. Maybe that was the first warning. People who cling too tightly aren't looking for love. They're looking for somewhere to hide their demons. But she didn't know that then. Back then, she believed in softness. She believed in saving broken people. She believed in him. The night she finally decided to leave him was the same night she realized he would never let her go. She was packing her things in silence, stuffing her clothes into an old backpack, trying not to make the floorboards creak. She avoided the mirror because she didn't want to see the person she had become, small, scared, a shadow of the girl she used to be. Her hands trembled as she zipped the bag, imagining how he would react if he woke up. Maybe he would whisper apologies again, fall to his knees, swear he would change. Or maybe, this time, he would rage. She didn't want to find out. Lily grabbed her phone, turned off all the lights, and crept toward the front door. The night outside was quiet, except for the distant hum of a street lamp flickering in the wind. She held her breath and twisted the lock slowly, praying it wouldn't click too loudly. The door opened, just a few inches, and she felt the fresh air touch her face like freedom reaching out its hands. That's when she heard his voice behind her. "Where are you going?" She froze. Her heart slammed against her ribs so hard it hurt. She turned slowly, meeting Ethan's eyes, dark, unfocused, pupils blown wide like he hadn't slept. He looked different. Or maybe this was his real face, the one he kept hidden beneath smiles and promises. His voice wasn't angry. That made it worse. It was empty. "I asked you," he said again. "Where are you going?" The fear crawled up her spine, like someone tracing a finger along bone. She opened her mouth, but nothing came out. He stepped closer, and she flinched. His jaw tightened. He noticed. "You were going to leave," he whispered. "You were going to abandon me." She shook her head, instinctively, even though they both knew the truth. He reached out and brushed his fingers across her cheek. His touch was soft, but it made her stomach twist. "You promised you'd stay," he murmured. "You promised you wouldn't be like everyone else." Lily swallowed, her voice barely audible. "Ethan, please. I can't do this anymore." For a moment, something flickered in his eyes. Hurt, anger, panic. Then it disappeared. He smiled, a slow, unsettling smile that didn't reach his eyes. "You don't get to walk away," he said. "Not from me." That's when she ran. She didn't think. She just bolted through the door, barefoot, sprinting across the cold pavement. The night air sliced into her lungs, but she didn't stop. She ran down the street, past the rusted mailbox, past the empty park where they used to sit together, past every memory she wished she could erase. She could hear footsteps behind her, heavy, relentless. Ethan was yelling her name, first pleading, then demanding, then furious. She didn't dare look back. When she finally reached the main road, a passing car slowed as the driver noticed her fear. She waved her arms desperately, tears blurring her vision. The car pulled over, and a woman rolled down the window, concern etched across her face. "Are you okay?" The woman asked. "No," Lily whispered, shaking uncontrollably. "Please, just drive." The woman didn't hesitate. The door unlocked. Lily jumped in, slammed it shut, and the car sped off just as Ethan reached the street. He shouted something, but the wind swallowed his voice, for the first time in months. Lily felt hope, but hope is fragile, and monsters don't give up easily. The next morning, she woke up in a spare room belonging to the woman who had saved her, Maria, a nurse who lived alone. Maria offered her breakfast, a blanket, a phone charger, a place to rest. Lily felt safe there, almost. But trauma clings like wet clothes. Every creak, every shadow, every unexpected sound made her flinch. She blocked Ethan's number, deleted his contact, erased every photo of him. But that didn't stop her from hearing his voice whispering in her head. "You promised you wouldn't leave." 2 days later, the messages began, unknown numbers. Private calls, emails she never remembered giving him access to. Sometimes the messages were apologetic, begging her to come home. Other times they were threats disguised as love. "I can't live without you." You don't know what I'll do if you stay away. Lily changed her phone number. She stopped going outside alone. Maria helped her file a police report, but the officers could only say what they always say. We'll look into it. But how do you file a report against a nightmare? One evening, as rain slammed against the windows, Lily sat on the couch trying to calm her breathing. Maria had gone to work, leaving her alone in the house. The lights flickered as thunder rolled across the sky. Lily pulled the blanket tighter around her shoulders. Then she heard it at a soft tapping on the window. She froze. The tapping came again. Slow, steady, intentional. She approached the window cautiously and peered outside. The darkness was thick, almost impenetrable. Lightning cracked across the sky, lighting up the yard for a single second. Ethan was standing there, soaked from the rain, motionless, staring directly at her. Her blood turned to ice. She stumbled backward, reaching for her phone, her hands trembling so violently she dropped it. She scrambled to pick it up, but by the time she looked back at the window, Ethan was gone. The backyard was empty. Her chest heaved. Had she imagined him? Was her mind playing tricks? She backed away slowly, gripping her phone like a lifeline. Then the front door handle began to turn. She screamed and ran to the kitchen, grabbing the largest knife she could find. Footsteps echoed through the hallway, slow, deliberate, familiar. She pressed her back against the wall, trying to steady her breath, but her heart hammered so loudly she thought he could hear it. Lily. Ethan's voice drifted through the darkness. Come home. She raised the knife, tears streaming down her face. Go away. Please. Go away. Lightning illuminated the room for an instant, and in that flash, she saw him, standing just a few feet away, dripping with rain, eyes hollow and desperate. You don't have to be afraid, he whispered. I forgive you. Forgive me. She choked. For what? For making me do this. Ethan lunged forward. Lily screamed. The knife clattered to the floor as he grabbed her wrists, pinning her against the wall. His grip was iron, fueled by obsession, not strength. She twisted, kicked, fought with everything she had, but he held on. You ran, he hissed. You left me alone. You broke me, Lily. Her voice cracked. You broke me first. For a moment, the rage in his eyes wavered. A flicker of pain crossed his expression, and Lily used that moment. She shoved him hard, breaking free, grabbing the fallen knife. As he stumbled, she ran past him and sprinted toward the front door that he chased her. She threw open the door, rain slamming against her face, and bolted into the storm. Ethan followed, shouting her name, his voice swallowed by thunder. She ran across the yard, slipping in the mud, lungs burning. He was gaining on her. Then, screeching tires, a car swerved into the driveway. Maria. She leaped out of the vehicle. Lily, get in the car. Lily sprinted toward her, but Ethan grabbed her ankle, dragging her down into the mud. She screamed, kicking frantically, clawing at the ground. Maria rushed forward, swinging her heavy flashlight, striking Ethan across the shoulder. He recoiled, stunned for a moment, long enough for Lily to scramble up and run to the car. Maria shoved her inside and slammed the door. Ethan lunged again, but Maria jumped in the driver's seat, locked the doors, and hit the gas. The car sped down the road, leaving Ethan behind in the storm. Lily collapsed into sobs, her body shaking violently. Maria reached over and squeezed her hand. You're safe, she whispered. You're safe now. But Lily knew the truth. Some men don't stop. Some love is a curse. For weeks, Lily lived with Maria, trying to rebuild her life piece by piece. Therapy, support groups, new routines, new thoughts, new breaths. But healing isn't a straight line. Some nights, she woke up gasping for air, convinced she heard Ethan's footsteps in the hallway. Other nights, she dreamed of the boy he used to be, the one who held her gently, kissed her softly, whispered promises into her hair. She hated that part of her still missed him. Trauma is twisted like that. But slowly, very slowly, she learned to breathe again. Months passed. Spring arrived. Lily moved into her own apartment, small but warm, filled with sunlight and plants she nurtured like fragile pieces of hope. She started painting again. She made friends. She walked outside without flinching at every sound. The world wasn't safe, but it wasn't entirely dangerous either. Then one evening, as she was returning home with groceries, she noticed an envelope on her doorstep, an O address. No name. Just her. Her stomach nodded. She picked it up with trembling hands and stepped inside before opening it. Inside was a single piece of paper point, 4 words: "I found you." Lily. The groceries slipped from her hands, spilling across the floor, and she realized some stories don't end. Some nightmares wait in the dark. Some love never lets go.